Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone watching in YouTube land, welcome to the Pwnzone. In this episode of the Pwnzone, I am going to show you, everybody watching, gameplay from the Loki. I'll be your host this evening. My name is 3/4 Monster. So let's get into the action. Once again on this map, I am using the Vector with the muzzle brake, which extends the range of the gun, and I am using the foregrip, which helps with the gun recoil. It makes it so it doesn't bounce so much. So if I have effectively turned this assault rifle into I've effectively turned this submachine gun into a assault rifle. Sorry, kind of lost track of what I was saying right there. So you can see immediately off the bat, I am just infiltrating the enemy spawn. Now, when you use Trinity rockets, launch the first two rockets. Don't launch them so high up. I launched them way too high up. Now you can see, I really wanted to get the Loki, so I'm kind of just waiting it out. I'm running out of ammo, and I don't know where the enemy's spawning. The spawn systems in this game are pretty erratic, which that's another thing I want to talk about real quick as I find a new gun on the ground. I want to talk about the spawn systems in this game. So they seem to have steadied out a little bit. I just shot at my teammate. But they're still kind of iffy. Like I've learned the spawn, let's just say this, I've learned the spawn patterns on most maps. Some maps still get me a little confused on where the enemy's going to be spawning, but I've kind of figured out the spawn patterns for most maps. You try to think of it like this. Most maps have 3 different spawn spots. That's it. Just 3. They're huge maps, but most of the maps only have about 3 different spawn zones. We'll call them zones because there's different spots within the zone that the enemy will spawn. There's one on one side of the map, one on the other side of the map, and there's usually one somewhere around the middle of the map. And why people complain about spawns so much is because the zones, there's not enough zones to spawn in. So what happens is, if your team is spread out across the map, or not even always, it doesn't even have to be your team spread out across the map, the enemy will spawn within a zone that you're still by, because there's just not that many zones to spawn into. So you die a lot in the back in this game from enemy spawning. So it's a good idea to check various spawn locations. You can see right here, I'm trying so hard to get that kill, just to get that Loki, because I never used the Loki at this point, so I don't know exactly how the Loki works. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it works. All I know is it's one of the highest assault streaks you could possibly get, and I wanted to get it in team deathmatch. So let's go up into the Loki. So you can see right now, it's very bizarre. I don't even know how I'm controlling it right now. There's 4 different buttons. It uses all 4 bumpers on the top of the controller, and it launches different types of things. There's a small rod, a large rod, a care package, a juggernaut. I don't even know what the move here thing is. I didn't even pay attention to that. I just forgot about, I don't know, I just didn't pay attention to the button. So what I was doing is, I was looking for the squares on the map. I was kind of just floating around the map. You still have your radar up in the corner, and I was kind of just launching different sized rods down at the squares. I'm not sure how far the spread is on the rods. I assume the large rods have a bigger spread. So when I seen a group of them, I kind of just launched a large rod in their area, and when I seen 1 or 2, I tried to just land a small rod right on them. So I made sure to call out where my care package was going to be dropped, and this juggernaut that I dropped kind of just follows me, kind of just runs around the map with me. I'm not sure if that was just pure accident. Oh, I knew there was a guy back there. I just couldn't figure out where he was at. So there was my first death of the game. I don't know if the juggernaut was just coming to my location just on coincidence, or if that's how it works. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, if you can figure out how to work the YouTube comment system, leave a comment, let me know. So the spawns on this side of the map, you seen earlier in the game, I got into the enemy spawn on the one side, and this spawn on this side of the map is the other spawn location, other spawn zone as I've been calling it. So there's one behind these buildings, and there's one on the other side of the map where the high area is. See me effectively gauging the range of my gun and not taking shots that I know are out of range. So this submachine gun has a much better range. The iron sights are a little weird to get used to. If you remember the old M4 iron sights from Call of Duty 4, it's kind of what they remind me of. Maybe if I'm thinking about the right gun. It takes a few games to get used to. Some of the iron sights on some of the guns in this game are terrible, and I just can't use them. Some of the guns in this game feel super heavy, and I just can't use them. This gun right here has the right amount of weight to it to run as an assault rifle. Any other guns bigger than this, I feel like I'm too slow running around with it. So that's pretty much all the assault rifles, all the marksman rifles. I just don't feel like I have the free range that I should have when I'm running around with it. Well, you guys can see I kind of just straight up pwned the other team, hence this video for the Pwnzone. I wanted to show you guys the Loki. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I'll catch you next time. Peace.
No one's gonna fuck with me, I'm a monster.